and I haven't set up yet, so I thought, let's do the setup whilst I'm having a chat. Hi! Alright, what do I need to do? I need to set the game up. Right. Currently hosting. No, it shouldn't be. At least I hope it's not. Yeah, that's what I thought. Host mode cancelled. Now, what am I doing? Right, I need to... what do I need on here? I don't think I need much more than that. Let's switch over to the game screen so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Let me make sure that desktop audio is off. Alright, gameplay, okay. I need to make sure that... Wow, that video capture device is... Oh, okay, is my controller deciding not to want to connect? There we go! Alright. Just have to wait for the game to load up because, yeah, I literally just got home from work, and then I had a phone call, a business call for about 20 minutes regarding a project that I'm working on outside of any content related stuff. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to film a music review today. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm going to do it. Probably should, but then again, do I have to? No. Not really. I mean, it's more like... I mean, I said I was going to start doing YouTube videos again, but then I didn't. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how long this goes for, because, you know, birthday tomorrow and shit. Don't know if I want to treat myself or not, is the long and short of it. Is that, like... Okay, no, not really. I was hoping that might add a little bit more light to the situation, because my face is really dark. Anyway, hello everybody. Sorry for not streaming on Wednesday. I was sick. And what else happened? Something else happened on Wednesday. Yeah, I got sick, and then I was also helping a friend with something because this is the wrong game. I've booted up the wrong fucking game. I've booted up Ratchet & Clank 3, not Ratchet & Clank 2. Dickhead. What a dick. Anyway, I suppose... Meanwhile, I can use this opportunity to, whilst I'm restarting the game, to post on Discord, and all the various places I post on Discord. And then what else do I want to do? I want to do Instagram. Where do I put my phone? Ah, right here. Da, 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 da. I'm not usually this unprepared, but I was like, it's past 3, and, you know, I say I start at 3, and, yeah. But just quickly, do the Instagramming. None of these are... Oh, hold on. Alright, now we're going to make sure that we get Ratchet & Clank 2 this time, not... Ratchet & Clank 3. We're not playing Ratchet & Clank 3, at least not yet. Soon we'll be playing Ratchet & Clank 3, but yeah, not yet. Not yet. You go in order. You start with Ratchet & Clank 2, and then you do Ratchet & Clank 3. That's how these things work. Ah, quickly. Get the Ratchet & Clank 2 logo on screen before it fades away. There we go. I'm Instagramming. Right, Instagram's done. Right, we can put that on screen now. Yay! Space Laser says, how you feeling, mate? I am doing well. Very busy. But it's the end of a week, and... yeah, this week's gone really slow. Don't know why, it's just felt really, really slow. I think it's got to do with the fact that it's my birthday tomorrow and I just kind of want it to be over and done with. Just so I can, you know, have the one day of dealing with the fact I'm 22. have the one day of dealing with the fact I'm 22 and then kind of move on and continue on with my life. Scrap Day 1 says, hi there. Hello, my friend. Nice to see you again. How are you doing today? All right, let me know if there are any audio issues or anything like that. Everything should be fine. Hypothetically, I can actually check my audio today because running through a capture card means I can do desktop audio whilst I'm playing the game without you guys hearing it. All right, we need to go here. Okay, we can probably raise the volume of the game quite a bit. Yes, blast off. Scrap Day 1 says, I'm doing fine, how are you? As I said, my friend, I am fairly busy, but also in a very bizarre mood. Yeah, just kind of waiting for
a map,
kind of waiting for right, that is a problem. Hold on a second. Has it changed? No. Face cam is out. What did I last stream? Interesting. Hold on. Hold on, I'll fix the webcam right now. Is that fixed? No, it is not. Why? Hold on a second. The other... How did I fix it last time? 0. 1000. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to fix the audio right now. I think that worked. Looks fine. Yes, it did. Beautiful. Okay. Awesome. Right. Okay. Audio's fixed. Yay. Beautiful. All right. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So no, Scrap Day 1. Yeah. Just kind of dealing with the feeling that, you know, turning 22 tomorrow, and I just really want this week to be over. It's been a long week. Yeah. Space Light says, can't blame you. I spent the last week laid up after major surgery. Good God, my friend. What happened? Major surgery for what, if you don't mind me asking? See, the interesting thing is I've never been in hospital. I've never broken a bone. I've never been in hospital for a surgery or something. You know, my sister has, and many of my friends have been, but I never have, and I don't know why. You know, because it's not as if I was necessarily a cautious... You know, I was a relatively adventurous child, but I suppose at the same time I was also relatively cautious enough to know, you know, maybe don't go and blow yourself up. Sort of, kind of, not really. And why is it now the sun is deciding to be a pain, but then you can't see me, so hold on. Ah, light. Lovely light. Alright, that's better. Scrap Day 1 says, by the way, sorry for missing your last stream. That's quite alright, my friend. I streamed late anyway because I was at a meeting at the time I should have been streaming, and Wednesday, as I said, didn't stream because I was sick, so that's perfectly alright, my friend. No need for apologies. No apologies necessary nor required for missing the stream. Spade Letter says, I had an organ removed, no more details necessary. Got you, my friend. I hope, as I echo Scrap Day 1's comments, I do hope you get well soon. And that you are back to yourself as soon as possible. Oh wow, the exposure on the webcam is really bad. Literally... Oh, Jesus, I'm walking into bad guys. Literally 5 minutes ago it was cloudy. and really dark. And now, it's not that. It's been lovely today. Actually, literally up until half an hour ago, it was raining. And it had been raining all day. At work, it was miserable. And now it's fine. Typical Auckland, 4 seasons in one day.
To zoom in with the pulse rifle,
It's always a pain, but anyway, there you go. That's the weather for you. Climate change in full effect. Well, actually, no, it's not really climate change. Auckland's always been like this ever since I've been alive, so it can be raining 1 minute and then not the next. Alright, let's take out these bastards. Gone. Gone. Oh, you chicken shits. Dealt with you effectively. Anyway, I should catch people up on where we are in the game if you missed the last stream. So we have just started our playthrough. I think we're about 3 or 4 planets into the game. So today we'll go for about an hour and a half or so. Do another 3 or 4 planets ish. Can't go relatively long today on the stream because there are family here for, you know, birthday reasons and shit like that. So yeah, but I tell you what, man, I'll tell you what, apart from my birthday, got a great weekend ahead of me. Cricket World Cup final, New Zealand in the final, and then British Grand Prix this weekend. Couldn't ask for a better weekend of sport. Really, couldn't ask for a better weekend of sport, even if you put like, yeah, I don't know what could make it any better. Bathurst 1000 would be quite nice. Just trying to think what else would make it better. Anyway. Space Laser said, clouds, Jared? Yeah, I know. Clouds, but clouds. Scrapday1 says, also, I found a New Zealand Preservation Railway for Train Simulator. Now, obviously, if you guys may have missed it, we did a train simulator stream. I haven't yet played the game since we did that stream, but my intention is to go back to the game at some point, learn how to play it, and do a proper stream. But I would quite like to do some New Zealand-related content in that game. I'd feel it's only appropriate, really, you know. But also, I was actually thinking about potentially, and I don't know if you guys would be interested in, potentially maybe doing Flight Simulator. You know, getting in New Zealand or something and doing Flight Simulator, you know. Something like that. So you guys let me know if you'd be interested in that. Scrapday1 says, by the way, happy birthday. Thank you very much, my friend. It's not till tomorrow, but for a lot of you guys, that'll be tomorrow. My time will be Friday your time. So,
oh, don't feel bad. I guess I'm just old.
So yeah, no. Thank you very much, my friend.
Did you
Feels
know
very
since the beginning?
So you sell these
very weird.
gadgets?
Darling, they sell themselves.
Yeah. Now, I'm sorry, but we should be getting these for free. Because yeah, that's what I thought. Now, I'm pretty sure I have a save with the Rhino. I'm pretty sure I have a save with the Rhino. Would be nice to get for free, but clearly it doesn't want to do that. Even though, in this game, these weapons are rubbish. These weapons are not powerful in any way, shape, or form, but they're just nice to have, I suppose. And I love the Tesla Core's great. I always have great fondness for that gun from the original Ratchet and Clank, so, you know. Alright, over the ditch to the first of, I think there's 3 hoverbike events in this game. Honestly, can't remember half the time.
Touch him, and it's Plasma City. Oh god.
I think there's 3, because I think there's one here, and then there's another planet with a set of arena challenges, and then I think... Oh, there might only be 2, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I cannot remember. Scrapto1 says the railway is called Pleasant Point Railway and Museum. Yeah, that would be right. It'd be... I don't know if this exists, because I haven't really looked into it, but it'd be cool if someone had just made a mod. I'm trying to remember what boosters. Oh, there we go. You know, if someone had just made a mod of just the Auckland rail network, that'd be pretty cool. I'd do that, you know, to see the Auckland rail network fully modeled in a game like Train Simulator. Of course, you've got to make sure that you have the train, well, of course. But even though it may, whilst it may be, that being said, will it be the current Auckland rail network? Because the rail network's changed quite a bit over the past few years, so who knows? Who knows? I'd need to investigate. I'm sure it's probably out there, but who knows? Space Lighter says, when did Ratchet and Clank turn into Wipeout? 2003 is when this Ratchet and Clank game came out. 2003. So I'm just trying to remember if Ratchet and Clank 3... I know Ratchet and Clank 3 had the arena challenges, but I don't think it had hoverbike racing or like hoverboard racing or some level of racing component to it. I know that this game has, I know that the original one has, I know that Ratchet and Clank Size Matters has hoverboarding as well. But yeah, I do not think Ratchet and Clank 3 does. Ratchet and Clank 3 does have those lovely 99 crystal challenges, but that being said, this game's got them too, actually, now that I think about it, so yeah, well, you can't escape it.
Great racing, bud.
So yeah, but
Take this helmet so the guys know you're
we'll do like we won't do a full 100% playthrough on this game, but we'll do enough to ensure that we're able to complete the game with a level of ease, obviously, because you know, we want to complete the game with a level of ease.
Quit stuffing his face. Hey, turn those lights off. It's bad feng shui. Next, our space rendezvous point has been moved to.
So,
and listen.
anyway. Alright. More hoverbike races. Okay, now this one, it does have weapons, so we are going to have to be careful, but it doesn't have shortcuts though, so as long as we get far out in front, we should be fine. At this point, where my fairly extensive knowledge of the games really starts to come into play. And there is no harm in picking up a weapon or two. I just don't always want to be picking up weapons because we don't really need them. As long as we pull out enough of a lead, we will not... Oh my god! That was fully unintentional. As long as we pull out enough of a lead, we will not need the weapons. Turn. Yeah, turn it. Fucking hell. Turn the goddamn corner. To get these speed up power-ups. Maximize our advantage. Pull out a stonking lead. Up we go. Whee! Hallelujah. I see fire. Or something, or rather, I don't know where I'm going with this statement. Already about to lap people. Oh, we've pulled out a massive lead. We're already lapping people, and it's only halfway through lap 3. Which is nuts. We should not be lapping people this quickly. So that either shows that we have a massive advantage, or that everybody else is just slow. I would like to think that it's that we have a massive advantage and that everybody else is just slow. Space Laser says, I would call that stonking, and I would fully agree. A good stonking victory. Right, now this one does have the shortcuts, which I've never been a fan of, but shortcuts do definitely help. What I don't like about the shortcuts is these rocks in the way. Whee, that was close. Move out the way. Excusez-moi. Everybody move out my way. I need to win this, y'all. I need to be home in time for Mama's dinner. She makes the best pecan pie you ever Dan tasted. I can't be dealing with the likes of you. Y'all folk don't go down round away. Don't go, yeah, that. That sentence without structure or composition. Hey. Jesus, that was close. Now, provided no one fires a rocket at us, oh my god, we're already lapping people, and it's not even lap 3. Good lord. That is a massive, massive, massive advantage. What's amazing is that usually it takes me about 2 attempts to get through, 2-3 attempts to get through these races normally. This time, no way. We're stonking it on the first attempt every time. Just use that because why not? Not that we have anything to lose. Other bikes blowing up in front of us as we're coming round to complete the race. Going around for the last lap and over the line. Beautiful. MOR Jared impressions. Is that more Jared impressions is what you're asking for? Or does MOR stand for something that I don't fucking know? Is it one of those things that if I look on Urban Dictionary it's going to have some defiled meaning? Well, on Urban Dictionary, it seems... Jesus Christ. I was like, well, these definitions seem pretty nice. MOR, middle of the road, meaningful overnight relationship, a hot Jewish girl who pees in her pants when she laughs. She's like, holy crap. How do you go from middle of the road, what was it? Middle of the road, a meaningful overnight relationship to a hot Jewish girl who pees in her pants when she laughs. What the fuck? How do you go from one to the other? Jesus Christ. Times like that when I question to myself why the hell Urban Dictionary exists. Who comes up with these definitions for these terms? Cool. Oh, yeah. So in the last one, I don't think they could attack us. It's only in this one that now they can attack us. So this might be the one where we start to have a little bit of trouble. So we need to get our lead and build it quite substantially so that we are, if we get hit by a weapon, which is most likely to be a rocket, that we have enough of a gap that it's not going to displace our position in the race. Alright, so far so good. Apparently we were 7th. How, I don't know. Because last time I checked, I was still in 1st, sunshine. Oh, bugger. Crap. But I think the top 4 are right in front of us, so I don't think it should take us too long to get back in front. He said. Yep. Now we just got to extend the lead back again. Hopefully we will not get taken out. Maximize our boosts. No! Bugger! See, that's the exact thing I was trying to avoid. Bugger, damn, and blast. No! Go away! Hook off. Jesus Christ. Ah! Well, this race went down the tube very quickly. Thanks, AI. You're wonderful. Right, I can't be asked doing that again. We got 5,000 bolts. That should be enough to get us more weaponry later on. Space Laser says, "Let's speak for more" is MOR. Cool. Scrapped A1 says, I mean, someone is making a reskin for Alien ER's A4 that will give it more of a variety. Might done a reskin for the Domination of New Zealand. I mean, maybe. Could be. Could very well be. Alright. Only one more thing left to do on this planet, which is to get the... Well, they don't have infobots in this game, but to get the next set of coordinates, or otherwise we ain't going to be going very far very quickly. Over we go. Time for a more traditional platforming section of game. It's moments like these where I just get to blast through this section because I'm just really that good. And that ain't me blowing my own horn. Well, yeah, it kind of is. I'm just good at Ratchet and Clank games. I've been playing them since I was like 8, 9 years old. So that's, you know, 14, 15 years now I've been playing Ratchet and Clank games. And they never get old. I enjoy them every time. Still enjoy them. They're a lot of fun. Now, I'm just trying to remember... No, it's not on this one. No, you don't bugger! Okay, well, I got ambitious, and my ambition ended up killing me. What the... What the actual fuck? Actually, you know what's ironic? I'm honestly thinking of taking that bloody message out of my chat bot that says subscribe to me on YouTube. I mean, what's the point? Unless you are, like, really desperate to watch some music reviews and the odd occasional vlog, my YouTube channel has absolutely nothing to do with my gaming content anymore, so why the bloody hell do I put that in my chat bot anymore? That's one of those questions I ask to myself. I should probably just take it out and replace it with something else, like... Actually, yeah, I'll take it out and replace it with something like, make sure you share the channel, guys, or something like that. You know, something that Something that benefits this more than it does my YouTube channel, which I hardly ever upload to at the moment. And that has absolutely nothing to do with gaming whatsoever. Space Laser says, bloody YouTube is going to shit lately. Yes, but I will say that the new copyright changes that they've just implemented actually is a good thing. And as I mentioned before, yes, YouTube's done a lot wrong, but you also have to cut them a lot of slack. They're doing a job that, you know, someone has to do the job, right? And unfortunately, if that means they have to do it, then they have to do it. Is that right? Yes, it is. You know, if someone has to do the job, unfortunately, they are the ones who are stuck doing it. So, you know, but yeah, I do agree they haven't been doing great lately, but the new copyright changes are a step in the right direction, in my opinion. Especially for someone like me who does music reviews over on YouTube. The new copyright rules that they've implemented as of yesterday are a step in the right direction. So. Alright, move forward. Come on. Deal with all these suckers. We have quite a good large amount of bolts at this point, which is good, because the other thing we won't be doing in this playthrough is getting all the goddamn weapons, because some of them are just completely and utterly pointless, and I never use them. And yeah, this bloke's frozen.
It works.
By that.
Use the Therminator to thaw ice.
Scrap Day 1 says YouTube is fucked up. Oh yeah, it is. I don't disagree with that, but you know, as I've said before, you know, and I do mean this. Unfortunately, you know, they kind of have no choice. They have to do a job, and whilst I'm not a fan of some of the stuff they're doing at the moment, yeah. Anyway, Scrap Day 1 says like the content. In what content are you referring to, my friend? What content specifically are you referring to? I mean, why not? Let's have an open conversation about YouTube. Chuck in your feelings about YouTube in the chat, guys, and let's have a discussion about it. Apart from copyright, question for everybody in the chat, apart from copyright, what are your current problems with YouTube? And let's have a chat about it. Josh says, hello. Hello, Governor, how are you? Actually, no, I shouldn't be doing a British accent. The English are the enemy until after Sunday. The English are the enemy. And then if we lose the World Cup, they're going to be more of the enemy. If we win the World Cup, then, you know, I'll like them. Alright, a few ships to take out. We do need to do some ship upgrades at some point, actually. Stop firing at my ship. Stop putting holes in my ship. No, we don't need Veritanium, we need shield recharge. God damn it. Oh, that's a rock. That's what we want. Full shield. Alright, one more shit left to go. And where the hell is it? Apparently it's this way. There you are, you bastard. Right, one more wave, and then... Alright, let's do this wave, and then I can get some of your guys' comments about YouTube. Picking out as many ships as possibly can. Use a rocket. Get rid of him. Oh shit, we're low on health. I had no idea. I've not been paying any fucking attention to our health bar. Probably a good idea that I find a shield. Or two. No, stop fire. Stop putting holes in my ship. Where's the boost? There it is. Need shield. Give me shield, give me shield. Need a shield. That's all fucking raritanium. That's more raritanium. Give me a fucking shield. No, fuck off. Okay. Alright. Alright, Space Laser says, stifling creativity by demonetization. That one's tricky. I definitely agree that some videos do definitely get wrongly demonetized. I know a number of creators that I follow who have had videos demonetized for stupid reasons. I think... For me, the way that I kind of look at the whole demonetization thing is that and we kind of mentioned this a little, I kind of mentioned this point before. Prior to the whole PewDiePie Nazi situation, there was a lot of content on YouTube that people were getting away with and were taking advantage of YouTube's rules on advertising and all that type of stuff. And I think for me, whilst I disagree with demonetization being an option for creators who are doing it honestly and correctly, I do feel that I think what we have to realize is that the demonetization is a reaction to a lot of creators who were taking advantage of loopholes in the rules and in the guidelines because no one really cared, you know. The advertisers didn't really care because they were making money, and they weren't really checking either what content was being put with their ads because they didn't care. They just saw it as a way to make money. It wasn't until the whole PewDiePie Nazi thing, you know, that little hit piece. Fuck off. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, so I think in regards to that one, I agree that yes, there is a lot of demonetization for people. There's a lot of unfair demonetization. Absolutely. I do not disagree with that point. But I do also feel that we got here because of creators. And I'm, you know, of some creators. And I'm not necessarily going to say who or, like, what they did or whatever. But there were some creators who were taking, you know, who were taking advantage of loopholes or who weren't properly following YouTube's advertising guidelines, and ultimately at some point this was bound to happen at some point. And to Space Laser's point that he just brought up about YouTube needs real people to review videos and not algorithms, YouTube gets a lot of video uploads a day. I think I read somewhere that in order for YouTube to review every single video that gets uploaded to YouTube every day, it would need a team of people of about over 175 people working 24 hours a day non-stop to review every single video that ever got uploaded to YouTube to check. And it's probably actually more than that. The amount of people that you would need to check every single video that gets uploaded to YouTube every single day, it's not possible to do it. YouTube are not going to spend the money, because at that point they're not making money. YouTube's a business, they've got to make money, and if they're hiring people reviewing content to decide whether or not it should be allowed to make money or not, there's not going to be any money in anyway, because if you do what you suggest, Space Laser, and you hire people to review every video, all the money that these creators are losing are just going to be going to the people who review the content anyway. So I agree that algorithms aren't necessarily always the answer, but unfortunately in this case they are, because it's just the volume. That the volume is preventing... It's the volume of content that is preventing YouTube from being able to tackle this on a human-to-human level. Now, when it comes to the demonetization, as I said, it was bound to happen at some point. People were taking advantage of the rules for far too long. But I do agree with a large number of people that there are a lot of people who are getting demonetized wrongly, and I will not disagree with anybody on that point. But this was bound to happen at some point. We have to accept that. Unfortunately,
For the 5th time, I have a collect call.
It's happened now. I think we all got used to how it was. But as I said, it's the same with the copyright thing. YouTube has a responsibility not only to people who are creators, but also to its advertisers and the people who actually pay YouTube. You know, their money sources, their stakeholders. They've got responsibilities. It's a business at the end of the day. And if they're not making money, then YouTube doesn't exist, and then we don't get the content that we all love. So it's a double-edged sword. Unfortunately, it's not something that is necessarily the best situation for all parties. It's not the best situation for YouTube, and I know it's very easy to beat up on YouTube, but you know, and I've beat up on them a lot over the past few months, especially after I got my live stream banned. But it's very easy to beat up on them, but I do get it partly from their side that, you know, unfortunately they have to do it. They've got responsibilities to more than just us as creators. They've got responsibility to their employees, to their stakeholders, to all these people. And, you know, unfortunately there is no one clear-cut solution to the issue. Scrap Day 1 brought up a point, making videos exploiting someone's death for monetization purposes. What specifically are you referring to when you say that? Because I'm not... The only thing I'm aware specifically of that is the whole Logan Paul graveyard video thing, which I'm pretty sure now has been taken down. But apart from that, I'm not aware of anything else. I could be wrong, and feel free to correct me in the chat if I am, but I don't think there's anything else. But I could be wrong. Yeah. I don't know what this is. I mean, I could watch that video scrap day one, but I still wouldn't have any idea of what the hell's going on because I really keep out of YouTube drama because I just think it's a waste of time and energy and breath. You know, I get people like to comment on this shit, but there are better things to do with your time than, like, for me, I review music.
So,
Alright?
how's the reception out here?
That's completely different than talking about YouTube drama.
Ooh, the science
Who the fuck
Keep going.
cares about YouTube drama? Honestly. Why make a video on YouTube drama? Why? I don't get it. Why?
The loser. Captain Quark, once the
Who
idol of
cares?
everyone in the galaxy, has finally hit rock
Really?
bottom. After his
I'm sure there are people out there who do,
Ratchet and Clank,
and who want to have their
Quark
say
sold
on it
bogus
because it gets them
merchandise
views.
claimed were Gadgetron products. But a key defect in this
But-
product, the personal hygienator, caused severe
I do not mind making
irritation
videos
to
commenting
body
on
areas and alerting
why I think
authorities
that
to
YouTube's
Quark's
policies are
scam.
bad, but I'm not going to comment, and that, if you want to call that YouTube drama, I'll comment on that. I'm not going to,
Well, that explains a
for
lot.
me,
Yes.
if someone has died, or, you know, if there's some drama going on between two YouTubers that I'm not fucking, you know, I'm not even fucking involved with, what's the fucking point of making a video about it? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody should give a shit. You know, so even if I watch this video scrap day one, and sorry to go on this little bit of a rant, but even if I watch this video, I'm not going to understand what the hell's going on. All I'm just going to be like is,
Too late again.
it's the exact same reaction I'm giving now. Who gives a shit? Why do people care about this? You know, I don't know who this Etka person is.
Find out where he's
It's unfortunate they died.
For a match,
I don't know who they are.
select or R3.
I don't know how they relate to anything. So I really can't comment on it. But all I can say is, in regards to it, what I'll say in regards to it is, just ignore it. Just ignore it. The best, the only way stuff like that is gonna go away is if you just ignore it. I don't care for it. I don't watch it because I'm not gonna give in to that crap. I'm not gonna give a shit if, you know, someone makes a video commenting on some YouTube drama. I don't care. You know, just ignore it. And Josh has made a point saying because if people don't bring attention to it, people will use it for profit and get away with using death for money. But look at it this way. If everybody just ignores the video, it gets no views. Yeah, sure. Attention needs to be brought to it in order for people to ignore it in the first place. But if everybody just doesn't care, and the problem is that there are people who will care. No matter how much you make the argument that attention shouldn't be brought to it, somebody will care. And somebody will watch that video. No matter how hard you try to bring to people's attention that people shouldn't be making videos on it and blah, 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 blah. Honestly, it's like with Reddit, right? I have this kind of rule with Reddit. You know, if I'm on Reddit and I see a thread that is bringing, you know, tearing somebody to shreds. Like, for example, I know it's got absolutely nothing to do with YouTube, but Blink-182 has released new music these past few weeks, and people on Reddit are commenting on how shit it is. I just ignore it. I don't care. You know? So, you know, yeah. Josh says, but remember there are kids who fall for it and watch it, and that's why clickbait about death gets hits. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It gets hits because it's clickbait, and I think it's... see, this is why I say that I think you know, part of it is education. We need to educate people on, I think, well, actually no, it's it's education in a number of ways. It's education in common sense. It's education in just how to treat other human beings. And it's education on, you know, I honestly feel that if you're going to make a channel talking about the latest gossip, you know, in YouTube news, right? That YouTube should be allowed to police what you call your videos and what you... I do believe that YouTube should be able to stifle a level of creativity on that front. I think if you are purely a channel just looking to create drama, get the hell. Just YouTube should be able to police you. Honestly, that's how I feel. I honestly feel that everyone's going, you know, YouTube shouldn't stifle creativity, but I think there are some cases where it bloody well should. And I think it's cases like this where it should. And I might feel, you know, people might feel differently about that, and that's fine. You know, that's the brilliance of, you know, subjectivity. I have an opinion, you guys have an opinion. My opinion is, when it comes to YouTube, that yes, I fully agree that people exploit the system. And I fully agree that YouTube demonetizes some people unfairly. But I think that ultimately it's YouTube's responsibility as the platform to draw a line somewhere under the, you know, draw a line in the sand and go, right, we're not going to allow this. And if it takes time, then you need to let it take time. But you know, unfortunately, there is a line that has to be drawn somewhere, and where that somewhere is up for, you know, is ultimately up for them to decide, not us. Scrap Day 1, please keep talking about it. I want to keep talking about it. Let's keep talking about it. Let's keep the conversation going. Please don't stop talking about it. Just because, you know, my point to say that, like, I don't care isn't to say that I don't care about that particular person. Of course, it's sad when somebody dies. My point that I'm making is that the way to solve something like this the way to solve a problem like this, ultimately, is to just ignore the people who are making a bigger problem out of a non-problem, right? Or a problem in the first place. These people, like you're saying, who are making these videos, they're making a smaller problem into a larger problem, and you shouldn't give them the time of day. Josh says, how's the education if nobody tells kids they're watching fake, like those contacting dead people with Ouija board vids? Well, that's where I think I do believe education plays a part in this, because it's about educating our kids about, I think we need to take examples like this, like the example you just give, and be able to tell our kids and to educate people that, look, you know, it's stuff like this, you know, doesn't or isn't real. Or we need to be able to face up to the idea that I think we've kind of come a little relaxed in the idea that the internet is a safe place. It's really not. It's a dangerous place. And I think it's stuff like this that's proving it. You know, it's stuff like this that's proving that the internet is not a safe place. And I think we need to realize that the only way, I think we've come too complacent in the idea that the internet is a safe place. It's really not. I think we've made a lot of strides in making it a safe place and teaching our kids about how to be safe online and etc, and all that type of stuff. But it's stuff like this where we have to realize that once people learn, you know, and sometimes it takes some experience to learn. Once people learn that these people are taking advantage of situations, then it's a lot easier to ignore. But we need to be able to educate them to say that, look at this. This is you being taken for a ride. This is you being manipulated. This is you being taken advantage of and your feelings being taken advantage of. This is clickbait, you know, this is how to identify it, you know, stuff like that. It's not a difficult process, it's just a timely process. It's a timely process. Josh says, but say you're one of those people that uses a person's death for money, should you be demonetized? Absolutely, you should be demonetized. But you know, I would never make a video like that. And hey, heck, there have been videos that I've made in the days when my YouTube channel was monetized, where I thought my videos would be demonetized because, you know, I swear like a sailor, if you haven't noticed. And when I first started, I honestly thought with the amount, when I first initially started, swearing was something that you could do, but if you had a great volume of it, you'd be demonetized. And with someone like me who, you know, swearing is a pretty, you know, decent part of my vocabulary, I honestly thought I'd get demonetized. Now, I didn't. But that's a big difference between, you know, swearing and talking about someone's death, obviously. But I'm proving the point, right? Is that a lot gets past YouTube because they need time. The algorithms need time to learn. The algorithms are not yet ready to the point where they're going to be able to pick up every single video. And I think this is what, you know, I've said this for a very long time. We live in a far too PC world these days, right? We are far too reactive as a people. We react to things far too quickly without giving the time for things to change and to properly, you know, and to properly matriculate, you know. And we used to be a lot more patient as a species, but we're not anymore. And I think it's things like this that hopefully will get us back to that, you know, all these people reacting, all these people making these videos, it just fuels the reactive nature of how humanity's becoming. If we just take a step back and become more patient again, like we used to be, you know, when I was growing up, people weren't this reactive. People sat down and thought about things. And the point you're making, Scrap Day One, you know, about with J Station, maybe he could have just thought about it. You know, that's exactly what I'm saying. We live in a far too reactive society where people's first instincts are to go, oh, outrage, outrage, outrage. Oh, conversation, conversation, opinion, opinion, opinion. You know, when I was growing up, people thought about things. You know, we weren't reactive. You know, the minute that our society stops being a reactive society, like we currently are, the minute that that happens is the minute that all this stuff that we're experiencing with people exploiting people's deaths for content and for money and all that, the minute that, you know, people stop getting so offended by everything, the minute that we stop being so goddamn reactive as a society is the minute that everybody lightens the fuck up and we just chill out. You know? So, you know, yes, there are a lot of problems wrong with YouTube, but also bear in mind that a lot of the problems that you guys are highlighting, and I'm loving this conversation, by the way. Please keep commenting in the chat. I'm loving this conversation. Absolutely loving it. You know, the important thing to realize is that it's not just YouTube, it's the content creators as well. And the content creators have as much responsibility as YouTube does to stop this type of behavior. You know, so it's not just YouTube. YouTube should not take the blame completely. They have some blame, absolutely, but they should not take full blame for this type of stuff. It's down to not only YouTube, but also the creators as well. Josh says, we should be reactive since it's disrespecting someone and their family. I fully agree that it is being disrespectful of somebody, you know, of an individual and their family. I fully agree with that point and respect that opinion. My response to that would be is reactivity is what leads to reactivity is what has led humanity, our species, our culture, our society in its current state to be the way it is. And I think we need to go back to a time when, yes, absolutely, it's disrespectful, but watching those videos, is in my opinion, bear in mind, this is all just my opinion, guys, you know, you do not have to agree with my opinion, and please do keep commenting, please do keep chatting, let's keep the conversation going. In my opinion, if you watch those videos, you're fueling that because you're giving that person control. Bear in mind, I studied media for a long time. I studied media when I was in high school, so I kind of have a bit of experience in terms of dealing with the media, knowing what makes it tick. And the media feeds on this. The media feeds on people's reactivity. The current media situation feeds on people's reactivity. And in order for that to change, we need to stop being so reactive. Thank you very much for the follow, Fury Speedruns. Much appreciated. Josh has said, say I made a video on your family member who passed away saying I called him or her at 3 AM. I mean, yeah, that would be disrespectful, and would I appreciate you for it? And don't worry, I'm not going to ban you for making that comment, by the way. You know, because, you know, it's adding to the conversation. Yeah, that would be disrespectful. But for me personally, I would personally ignore it. I wouldn't allow... I wouldn't give you that satisfaction or that power of doing that. And that's just me. That is me. I wouldn't allow myself to give you that satisfaction by watching that video and giving you that view. Giving you that bit of money, you know. No. The other thing you have to bear in mind, guys, is that, as you guys rightly point out, you know, they're doing it because they know people are going to watch it. You know? Irrespective of whether or not it's disrespectful or not. And at that point, see, like, a lot of you guys now, like Josh, you're saying, what would you do when you find out? Would you let it stay uploaded or take it down? For me personally, again, honestly, I'm kind of in two minds. You know, I think if you made that video, would I have you take it down? I don't know. My initial thought was no. Because my initial thought was, it's within your rights as a member of society with free speech to make that video. At the same time, you know, it's within your rights as free speech and as a creator to make that video should you wish. At the same time, you know, but I think for me, I think no, I think I wouldn't have you take it down, because I think it's one of those situations where I just wouldn't give you the time of day. I'd just ignore you. You know, I wouldn't give you that satisfaction. I wouldn't give you... I wouldn't play into it. For me, personally. You know, and everyone's different. Everyone's different. You know, I would not have you take it down in the same way that, you know, the whole Ouija board thing. And, you know, as Fury Speedrun says, humor is subjective. Everybody is going to have a different take on all of this. Some people are going to like the videos. And whilst I may not agree with a person's opinion on the videos, and whilst I may not necessarily agree that they're great videos to make, and I personally don't watch them, I think it's also a case of... Ooh, I don't think that's going to do us much. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one, that one. It's a good question. I think for me, though, I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's a situational thing, but, you know, the other thing I think as well is you have to then take into the argument of free speech. As I mentioned, people have a right to do... I'm a big proponent of free speech, and I'm a big proponent that free speech should not be curtailed, and free speech should not be... People should be allowed to say what they want to say whenever they want to say it, even if you disagree with it or not, even if you object to it or whatever. I do believe people have the freedom and the right to say what they want. Our society was built, you know, our societies were built on the notion of free speech, and if you take that away... Oh my god, I'm not getting this right at all, am I? I need to go higher. You know, but the one thing the point I was going to make is a lot of you guys are looking at, you know, this and going, you know, oh, it's YouTube's fault, it's YouTube's fault. But as I said, guys, the blame not only has to fall on YouTube, but it has to fall on the creators as well. And you can't fully blame YouTube. It's easy to blame YouTube, but YouTube also, you know, it's one of those things where the minute you start curtailing people's free speech, the minute you take their rights away as a society. We live in societies with free speech. These people have a right to say these things. You may not agree with them, and you may think they're disrespectful. But it's free speech. And if you want free speech to be a continual thing throughout our society, then you have to let these people do what they want to do. You know? And you may disagree with me. That's fine. You know? But free speech runs on the basis that everyone should be allowed to express themselves freely. You don't have to agree with it. You're quite allowed to judge people for what they believe. You know? You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to respect it.
Perhaps these robots can assist us.
Free speech is free speech. People should be allowed to say what they want to say, regardless of the consequences.
I think I had better do the talking.
You know, big proponent of free speech. You know? So...
A masked customer picked up an order not long ago.
You know,
Recently, they received a new transmission from him, and they are willing to show it to us for a small price.
I don't know how you guys particularly feel on that. Let me know in the chat if you wish. But, you know, I think you guys have raised some great points. There are some flaws in the system, and I think, as I said, you know, for me personally, and again, this is all my opinion, guys. You guys are quite welcome to disagree with me, and you guys seem to, and that's great. That's the great thing about, you know, we're having constructive conversation, and I think that is what is going to help push us in the right direction, is constructive conversation. You know, I'm not shitting on your guys' opinions. I'm agreeing with you on some of them, on some of your points. I'm disagreeing with you on some of them. on some of your guys' points. You know, constructive conversation about it. And I think as well, just learning as a society how to be a little bit less reactive in this current, you know, in this current world we live in. Bear in mind, a lot of this technology, these platforms, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all these platforms where people have been given the opportunity to express themselves freely, has given people the ability to say what they want to say and to do it in a and in a way which has happened far faster than any of us ever thought. You know, so, you know, the technology that has happened in the past 10 years has moved so fast that we as a society have had to adapt very quickly. And it's not until we start to live with the technology in a long-term basis. Bear in mind, we're still in the short term. We're still in the infancy of the long term. We're still in the infancy of the long term of the technology that we're currently dealing with. And over time, we will get better. It just will take time, you know? So, Josh says, like how EA is under so much, there is a side bickering loot boxes and the bad, and the other side loot boxes are good. There's no winning either way. Exactly. You know, there are arguments to say that loot boxes are good. And look, as someone who works in software development, I totally get the reason why developers want to do it, and I totally get the consumer side why I think it's bad. So again, I like to play a little bit of devil's advocate here, guys, because I do, you know, I like the conversations that we have. I think they're very good, constructive conversations, and, you know, I want to challenge you guys a little bit as well, and I want you guys to challenge me. You know, let's challenge each other's preconceptions and opinions to have a very constructive conversation. You know, you guys can provide me some insight on how you guys are feeling. I can provide some insight on how I feel about the situation, and it can be a two-way conversation rather than just me telling you how it is. Because I don't believe I have all the answers, and I feel that you should take my opinion with a grain of salt. Your guys' opinions are just as valid as mine, you know. So, you know, it's really up to you guys to decide how you want to deal with it. It's up to me to decide how I want to deal with it. It's up to us as a society to decide how we want to deal with these problems going forward. Because, as I said, we're in the infancy of this change, you know. We're in the infancy of this change in society, and it's going to take us time to adapt, and it's all about the patience, you know, and allowing us as a society to really come into our own and to really make sure we fully understand and accept, you know, because I do believe we're at a point, an important point in history where our society is changing, you know, you know, our society is changing, and we have become, you know, slightly more reactive as a society. But over time, we will learn, we will adapt. That's the great thing about humans, is that we do learn. We are a society, we're a species who have the ability to learn and to learn from our mistakes, and we will. It will take time, but we will. You know, so, you know, we just got to give people time, guys. We got to give YouTube time. We got to give society time, and once we give it the time, everything will come right. But you just have to be patient, you know? And it's very easy to be reactive, and I totally get it, but we just have to be patient. Fury Speedrun says, long story short, just ignore them. Humor is subjective, and though it's messed up, he does have the right of free speech, and if that gets taken away, life will be drastically different. You're exactly right, my friend. If we take away people's rights to free speech, life as we know it will be drastically different than what we know. And, you know, we can't take away people's rights to free speech. We just can't. that will fundamentally change the foundation of our society as we currently know it. And I have a lot of issues with society as it is right now, and I think, free speech is one of those things that is a hotly debated subject at the moment, and to take it away is not the course of action. But anyway, as you can tell, I have a lot of opinions on this. But I'm liking this conversation, guys. I really am. Scrap Day 1 says, alright then, I'll admit, I can see your side of the argument. Everyone has the freedom to speak. But it's how you say it that matters for me. I think, yeah, there is definitely a way, but I think that's just a general rule of, common sense, right? How you say things is just as important as what you say. That's just like a general rule of thumb, right? And look, some people... Look, I'm a very blunt guy. My friends will tell you this. I sometimes, I'm not very good with social cues. I do sometimes forego social conventions, and I just say it how it is. Because I do believe sometimes people just need to hear that. But there are times where even I do realize that, sometimes you just need to say things in a certain way. But everybody's different. And everybody will believe different things. And because of that, it's times where we do have to realize that, okay, well, it's difficult. As Josh points out, but free speech is hard nowadays because a lot of people will say, oh, your opinion sucks, it's awful, you have the right to a different opinion. Yeah. You're right. A lot of people have become very... I grew up in a society where I was taught that you need to respect, you should respect other people's opinions even if you disagree with them. And I definitely do think one of the changes we're seeing now in current day society is people are less receptive and less respectful of other people's opinions. I was always taught as a kid, you got to respect other people's opinions even if you don't agree with them. And that is something that I carry to this day. I always respect your guys' opinions. I respect my friends' opinions. When I get into conversations like this with my friends, it's always constructive because I came from a time of, where people did, where I was taught to respect other people's opinions. And I think, again, society will get back to that. It will take time. But we just, the people, do you know what I find in regards to your point there, Josh? The people who say to you that your opinion's awful are typically the people who don't fully believe in their own opinion themselves and are the type of people who actually can see your point but are too afraid to admit it. I've had a lot of conversations with people who get highly defensive about their opinion because they're not willing to admit that their opinion might be wrong. And that's the society we live in now. I've got a very good friend of mine, I'm not going to name who they are, but I've got a very good friend of mine who, whenever we have a conversation like this, they get very defensive about their opinion when I have these type of conversations with them, because I present, as you guys, might notice, a very neutral, I try to present a very neutral, constructive view to the conversation, and hopefully we don't die here. There we go. I try to present a very neutral but constructive view to the conversation, where I provide my opinion, but I also play a little bit of devil's advocate, and try to provide a little sense. But I do have a friend that whenever we have a debate of this type of conversation, often about politics, because me and my friends do like to have the odd chat about politics, is that, often I find that when people get really defensive about their opinion, it's because they are either not willing to see your side, or because they are afraid that they're wrong. And people being afraid that they're wrong is a greater weakness than anything else out there.
Hey, there's Mr. Fizzwidget.
People are more afraid to be wrong than they are to accept that maybe you have a valid opinion. You know? So therefore, they just won't, you know... People's mind these days, like, it's funny. And I'm not saying you guys in particular, and I'm not singling out anyone in particular, but it's so funny these days that, you know, it's very hard. You know, we've had some great constructive conversations on this channel before. Of course, if you guys remember, we had a great constructive conversation about the Star Wars franchise when I streamed Star Wars Dark Forces, for example. We've had some great constructive conversations on this channel, and that's awesome because in my real life, it's very hard to have constructive conversations with people sometimes. You know, because people are just afraid of accepting an opinion outside of their own.
He's just easily
So there you go.
distracted.
Oh.
Yeah, well.
Come on, let's see if we can find a way out of here.
I feel that that brings... I feel that that was a fantastic conversation. I don't know how you guys feel, but I thought that was a very fantastic and constructive conversation. I appreciate all your guys' opinions on the subject. Thank you very much for everybody who contributed to that. That was a great conversation. I felt that was very constructive, very productive conversation. I felt that everybody got to air their side. Obviously, me having the microphone, you know, I get to say probably a little bit more than you guys, but I'm glad that you guys were able to contribute to the conversation. And if you do have any more you wish to contribute, please do in the chat. Please do feel free to, you know, keep the conversation going. But I feel this conversation has been a fantastic conversation. So thank you guys for the constructive conversation, because that's what I'm all about. Scrapday1 says, if they would have done those videos addressing the death and that's it, but monetizing the video for the own income is a bit offensive for me. And look, I totally respect that. And look, for me as well, I would think that to do that type of video is wrong. But again, you know, for me that comes into the argument of free speech. I think also as well that, you know, clearly they as an individual have a lot to learn, you know. So anyway, but yeah. You know, I fully agree with you, Scrap, though, one. I fully do agree with you that I think definitely it is on the offensive side and it is on the disrespectful side. But, you know, unfortunately, we can't control. There's only so much we can do. And it's not, you know, our responsibility as a society is not to stop free speech, and it's not to stifle creativity. It's our job to learn from these weak moments and go, how can we learn from this and stop it happening again? You know, or take action to make society a better place. So that's just my thoughts. Scrap Day 1 says, by the way, sorry for bringing this friend. I just want to talk to you about it. You are quite welcome. Look, you guys know, if you're a new viewer to the stream or if you're a returning viewer, you know, apart from politics and religion, I am quite happy to talk about anything. You do not have to apologize for bringing any topic of conversation to the table here on this channel. I know there are some channels out there who don't want to have these conversations, you know, but I am all too happy to have these conversations because I feel that these conversations need to be had. These are the type of conversations that need to be had. And I am all too willing to have those conversations because I do believe that these conversations need to be had. So you do not need to apologize for bringing up the conversation, my friend. I am all too happy to have the conversation. This is a conversational channel. We are here to hang out, to rant, to have fun, to play some, you know, there'll be some streams where we just hang out, chill out, have some fun, play some video games, enjoy each other's company. And there'll be some streams where we have really good constructive conversations like this. And that's what I'm about. That's what this channel is about. And I'm all, you know, that's who I am as a person. So, you You know, I am all too happy to have these constructive conversations, and I think we need to have these constructive conversations. It betters, we are already making the right steps if we are having these conversations and are able to sit here and listen to each other's points. We are already going in the right direction. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm going to need to take a big long drink after this stream because we have done a shit ton of talking. Can already feel that tomorrow I'm going to have a bung throat, but you know what? It's all fucking worth it because this has been a fucking fantastic... This has been a fucking... honestly, this has been one of my favorite streams in a long time. I've loved doing this stream, honestly.
This changes nothing. Where's the
you know, and you know, the funny thing is that, you know,
You've just put the whole galaxy
I honestly wish, you know, every stream we could have, like, you know, maybe not, obviously not talking about this every stream, but having constructive conversations like this where we have these debates, because I love having these conversations. Love having them, you know. I love engaging with people in constructive conversations. One of my, honestly, if I could spend my entire life just having constructive conversations with people in this type of way, I would, because I love it, you know. And sure, I can be a little stubborn with my own opinions, as I'm sure you guys can, as some of you guys can as well. But just having these conversations is so much fun. I love it.
So the next time your toaster doesn't explode in your face, say a little thank you to the Megacorp testing facility.
Scrapday1 says, all I really do on this channel is talk about trains and rants. I feel a bit bad for you, actually, for talking to me about the same stuff every stream. Again, my friend, I am quite happy to talk about anything. I don't really care, you know. And when I say that, what I mean is, I don't mind what we talk about. I'm quite, honestly, you know, I could talk about the same things every stream and be perfectly satisfied. I'm satisfied with it. I don't mind. I'm not one of those streamers who are like, you know, oh, we're not going to bring up this again. You know, I love it. I love the conversation. It doesn't matter what it's about. I love the conversation because I love chatting with you guys. It's brilliant. You know, I'm not, you know, you don't have to feel sorry for anything you guys want to bring to the table or anything you guys want to chat about. You don't have to feel that way with, you know, on this channel. You can talk about anything you want, and I will do my best to be able to engage with you in whatever way I can, you know. That means you want to rant and talk about trains every stream. You're quite happy to do so. I'm quite happy to, I'm quite happy to talk about that, my friend, you know. And I will do my best every time to make sure that I'm able to contribute to the conversation in some way, shape, or form, and am able to, you know, have a fun or constructive conversation with you. So you don't need to feel sorry, my friend. If anything, you should be feeling happy that you found a streamer who is, you know, I'm honestly so open, you know, to this stuff, and I know plenty of streamers who aren't, you know. And the good thing is, at this point in the channel, you know, we're small enough that, you know, I can interact with you guys, you know, one-on-one. You know, if the channel keeps growing and gets to a point, you know, where there's a lot of viewers per stream, you know, it is going to be, you know, a little bit difficult. So, you know, I love this stuff. So you do not have to feel bad, my friend, in any way, shape, or form. I also have a tendency to ramble, if you haven't realized. Big tendency to ramble. I have a big tendency to ramble, but I don't think. I think in the case of streaming, that works in my favor more than anything. I think the fact that I like to ramble really does work in my favor for streaming. So, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna take a fucking sip of water because my throat Oh, so nice. Oh, honestly, so far, this stream has been the favorite part of my day. This has been awesome. But thank you guys for making this stream fantastic. Because this, for me, this stream has been great. So thank you guys for that. Oh. I am going to have... I'm going to have a bung fucking throat tomorrow, I can tell you right now. Scrap Day 1 says perfect segue there. Actually, no, the best segue is, speaking of which, Tunnel Bear! Which, you'll only get that joke if you're a Linus Tech Tips fan. Because his segues into his ad reads are some stuff of legend. Stuff of legend. Alright, we need to go after 10 crystals. So we'll probably go after the 10 crystals, and then we'll probably leave a stream for there today, guys. And then probably in the next stream, we'll probably just pick up with, like, going after the rest of the crystals, because trust me, I can go after crystals for a long time. I can spend a lot of time going after crystals. And they are a great source of income, and as you'll see later in the game, that will pay off. Scrap Day 1 says, Beachy Head is almost done. Well, that is very good news, my friend. I am glad to hear that. Right, so we're going to get 10 crystals to repair our ship, and then I believe... I think you then have to get like another 20 crystals, and the weird guru man gives you something else, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but... In this planet in particular, you don't start getting crystals for a little bit, which is slightly annoying, but... Utilize the flip to get this guy right in the eye. Of course, crystal comes in multiple ways. You kill a bastard, you get a crystal. Climb one lane in the land, you get a crystal. Grab Day 1 wants to know if I know what Beachy Head is. Absolutely not, but considering that you said it was a positive note, I assumed it was a good thing. So, but please do explain to me what it is. My suspicion is it's got something to do with Train Simulator. Come on, kill the bastard. No, goddamn. Ah, fuck. There we go. Right, one more crystal. Scrap Day 1 says, no, okay, it's a real life thing. Dope. Always love a bit of reality. Actually, there's a really good song called Reality by... I can't remember what his fucking name is. It's a really dope song. Probably one of the only, like, quote-unquote popular radio songs that I actually really dig, because I'm not a big fan of a lot of the music on the radio, but... Yeah, no. But anyway, that's cool, man. That's cool. How are we gonna... Oh, paper rock. Okay, maybe not. How's the... Oh, lava gun's got a little bit. Should be enough to kill this guy. Bang! Oh, okay, maybe it wasn't. Deck. This is actually probably a good time to mention that we probably need an armor upgrade, which I do think there's armor upgrades in this game. I just can't remember... Oh, yes, there are. There are armor vendors, but they're not... I think... Oh, I want to say even the next planet has an armor vendor. This is... Actually, This is kind of what I imagine like Toshi Station would look like. You know how in the original Star Wars Luke goes, but I was going to go to Toshi Station because of power converters. Like, I kind of imagine that this is what Toshi Station looks like. You know? First of all, the other question I have is, what was Luke going to use power converters for? I mean, clearly everything was working at the goddamn hole in the ground.
Bring me more crystals and I'll
Whatever you want to call it. The house. So yeah. Damn, my throat, man.
You can earn vast amounts of
Trade 1 crystal for 1,000 bolts. Thank you very much. Okay, so... Oh, no. It might be on the later ice planet that you got to get, like, the 20 crystals afterwards to unlock something else, which is good news. So 1,000... So if we get the remaining 98 crystals, that'll be 98,000 bolts. Which with our current bolt amount would get us to over 100,000. Be about 124,000 bolts. Right, anyway. We are going to end off there today, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the stream. I know I did. Scrap Day One says, I mean, it's not really BG Head, it's more of a replica, but it's using most of the GNR Atlantic number 32424. So they're calling it BG Head. Dope. Sounds dope, my friend. Sounds awesome. Alright, so yeah, we are going to leave it here. Guys, I'll go to the face cam. There we go. Yeah, so we are going to be leaving it here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I very much enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much for all the awesome conversation. I very much had a lot of fun chatting with you guys about all this stuff. I will be back on Sunday with more Ratchet and Clank. By that point, I'll be 22. I'll be old. So yeah, no, I'll be old. Make sure, guys, you do share the channel with your friends, with your family, with your work colleagues, with your enemies, with the people who you kind of can stand but not really. Just share it with everybody. It really helps out. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the people who chatted with me. Thank you to everybody who contributed to that amazing conversation. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a fun stream for me. I loved it. Tim has a note, says, hey bud, guess what? What am I guessing, my friend? What am I guessing? Yeah, anyway. Whilst he's replying to that, I'll keep going on my little rant here. Yeah, I'll be a year older next time you see me. Yes? I'm still streaming! Alright, well, yeah, I have to go. Anyway, guys, Tim says it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, my friend. Yeah, so anyway, I gotta go now because otherwise I'm gonna get in trouble. I will see you guys on Sunday. Make sure you share the stream, guys. Make sure you follow me, Twitter, Discord, all that crap. Until next time, guys. See you later.